Welcome to the Afro Buddha Breakdown, and today we are going to break down sleep paralysis. If you've ever experienced sleep paralysis, they say it's about 8% of the population that experience it. And what's so crazy is, like, if you Google it, if you go on YouTube, if you look at the things that are readily available online that talk about sleep paralysis, it's just fear mongering among fear mongering among fear mongering. Every single thing that you find about it just feeds into whatever fear you already have of it. But I want to break it down and talk about it from a spiritual and metaphysical perspective, showing you that it's not some huge thing for you to be afraid of. It's actually a sign of you being very consciously aware of your subconscious and your conscious mind. When you have sleep paralysis, it normally happens right when you fall asleep or just before you wake up. In my experiences, it's like right before I wake up. When I was younger and I would experience it, it was kind of scary, because it's this feeling of being awake, being aware, being able to hear, smell, see, but you can't move. It's a paralyzing of the actual body's muscles and your ability to move. That in itself sounds scary as hell. I completely understand why a lot of people are really concerned. There's all of these myths and urban legends about demonic forces and dark shadows and the shadow man, and people saying they've seen all of these dark entities and things of this nature during their sleep paralysis time. But I'm going to challenge that just a little bit. When you are experiencing sleep paralysis, what's actually happening is a gap in between the spiritual realm and the physical realm. It is your spirit, the version of us that is non-physical, waking up inside of the physical body before the actual physical body wakes up. If you've ever needed proof that we are spirits driving a human flesh-covered vehicle, sleep paralysis is undeniable proof of that, because you find out that there is a complete different side of you. There are different sides of you, the physical version of you and the spiritual version of you. And when they are not in alignment and you wake up one part without the other, that's what that is. So here's the thing. If you are in the 8%, which is a tiny amount of people who actually experience sleep paralysis, there's a really good chance that you have some abilities within you that you just haven't tapped into. Everybody talks about wanting to have lucid dreams. Everybody talks about wanting to astral project. If you have sleep paralysis, chances are really strong that you have the ability to astral project. The big thing about sleep paralysis is just figuring out how to conquer your own fear. It's really the same thing when I talk to people and I teach meditation. I've had grown-ass adults tell me that they're afraid to meditate because they have to sit in the room and be quiet, and it's dark, and they close their eyes, and they're kind of like afraid of themselves. They're afraid of what can come out of themselves, images that flash, things going on in their mind. They're just afraid of the unknown. What some people explain as hallucinations during the sleep paralysis period are actually formations of your own fear. So if you've got some unaddressed fear that's going on in your subconscious wants to show you what you're afraid of. Those fears can be completely conquered by deciding that you're going to be fearless and reminding yourself that there's nothing to fear. The moment you realize that your spirit is awake and your body isn't awake yet, go ahead and do some deep breaths. I suggest counting down from 10 and just in through the nose and out through the mouth. It's really about just calming yourself down. It's the panic part that creates all of these things that we consider to be hallucinations and dark energies and all of those things. That comes out of your panic. In the same way, if you see a dog and you're afraid of the dog immediately knows that you're fearful. It can smell your fear. That's the same kind of thing that happens with sleep paralysis. If you are fearful, your mind will start to project. Remember, we talk about thoughts becoming things. If you are afraid, your mind will start to project things for you to be afraid of. Remember that whole law of attraction, like attracts like thing? Yeah, it works with sleep paralysis as well. Remember that this is a gift. It's a spiritual gift. It's a sign of your spiritual connectedness. Take some deep breaths and say, this is going to be fine. If you decide you want to come out of the sleep paralysis, you can. Take you some deep breaths, calling your spirit back down to your physical body. Spirit, I feel you disconnected from the body. Please come back to the body. Please come back to the body. It's literally talking to your spirit, talking to your body, and having them align with each other again. What the studies have shown is it really only lasts for like a few seconds up to a couple of minutes. And I know a couple of minutes in sleep paralysis seems like forever, but if you can learn how to calm down, that will help you tremendously. The next step after you are no longer afraid and you start finding peace in your sleep paralysis moments, you can step it up a notch and you can decide that you want to astral project. Again, your acknowledgement of it is the power within it. So saying, I recognize that I am having a sleep paralysis moment. I am going to step outside of fear, and I want to step into astral projection. Show me the world around me. Picture yourself lifting up, your spirit lifting up above your bed, above your house, above your neighborhood. Take that opportunity to explore. There are so many things going on in this world. There are multiple dimensions that are crossing over one another. If you are able to have sleep paralysis, you're able to hop from dimension to dimension. You are a dimension hopper. Let me know in the comments below what your experiences have been with sleep paralysis, if you are struggling from disconnecting from the fear of sleep paralysis, and if you are able to take some of the advice that I've given here. If any of this works for you, drop it in the comments below. Let's talk about it. I will be back with more Afro Buddha breakdowns. Follow me on Instagram and Facebook at the Afro Buddha. Don't forget to hit subscribe and hit that bell so you get a notification when I post new videos. Love and light to you. Namaste and shit. Bye, y'all.